Jay Quellen. No Jay Quellen here? Balake. Where is Balake at? Aaron.
Aaron here, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Happy Monday, and welcome back to the channel. A lot of you have noticed the similarities between the way Tom Cruise communicates and conducts himself in interviews, even down to the look on his face, the look in his eyes, his facial mannerisms, and the way David Miscavige conducts himself and communicates, well, really in the only interview he's ever given with Ted Koppel back in 1992. And I think it's worth noting here that what you're observing there is Tom Cruise becoming more like David Miscavige and not the other way around. And this was on full display about 18 months ago, maybe just a little bit longer than that, when Tom Cruise was secretly recorded screaming at the top of his lungs at some people for standing too close to each other and I guess breaking the safety protocols that were in effect at that time. The reaction to this audio leak was quite mixed, actually. There was a surprising amount of positive reaction to Tom's behavior. I'm going to play this for you. I want to get your thoughts on it. I'm going to share some of my thoughts as well. Let's take a listen.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night, insurance companies, producers, and they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies. You can tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay for their college education. That's what I sleep with every night. In the future of this industry. So I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies.
All right, I know there's more coming, and I won't keep stopping it during this thing, but what I hear immediately is a bit of a God complex that David Miscavige has, that Tom Cruise has adopted as well, that the entire world rests on his shoulders. Now, in David Miscavige's case, it's the world of Scientology. Miscavige has this thing where he just insists that he is the only one who's doing anything valuable and productive. All they are doing is getting in his way, throwing up roadblocks, making his life harder, giving him more work to do. He always has to come in and save the day. This is how Miscavige thinks, how he operates, how he treats others around him. That's what's going through my head when I hear what Tom Cruise is doing here. If he was only talking about the well-being or the welfare of the families of the people who work on this set, perhaps I would feel that his characterization of the importance of what they're doing was a little more on point. You can hear that instead he's talking about that he is single-handedly saving the entire industry, all of Hollywood, everyone in LA. The only reason anyone's making any movies at all is because Tom Cruise is leading the way. That's what I hear. All right, let's keep going.
I have told you, and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out. We are not shutting this movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're gone. And so are you. So you're going to cost him his job. And I see it on the set, you're gone. And you're gone. That's it. Am I clear? Do you understand what I want? Do you understand the responsibility that you have? Because I will deal with your reason. And if you can't be reasonable, and I can't deal with your logic, you're fired. That's it. That is it. I trust you guys to be here.
Okay, I guess that is the only part of the clips that was in that video. I've seen different parts of this rant posted, broadcast different places. I haven't found one source that has the entire unedited thing. And in looking around, this segment broadcast by Entertainment Tonight Canada was one of the most interesting, concise, and fair reviews of the whole thing. Let's take a really quick look at it.
I don't ever want to see it again! Ever!
According to The Sun, the UK tabloid who leaked audio of Tom scolding staff members, the movie star lashed out on set again on Tuesday, raising tensions even higher on the Mission Impossible 7 set. The second outburst reportedly led to 5 crew members resigning from the production, with the source adding, quote, "Tension has been building for months, and this was the final straw."
How many meters is that? When people are standing around a computer and hanging out around here, what are you doing?
In the recording leaked earlier this week, Tom, who is also a producer on the film, was heard lecturing staff members who seemingly violated health and safety guidelines, months after filming was shut down due to the ongoing health crisis. Public opinion on the leak has been mixed. Some are praising Tom Cruise for upholding the guidelines, while others have criticized his approach. On the Howard Stern Show, George Clooney shared his thoughts on the matter.
If the production goes down, a lot of people lose their jobs, and people have to understand that and they have to be responsible. It's just not my style to take everybody to task that way.
And Whoopi Goldberg, who has headlined big budget projects of her own, she offered her take on The View.
You can get a new camera operator, no disrespect to camera operators. You can get a new sound man, but you can't get another Tom Cruise. It's him. And if he's looking over and he can see you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's kind of like a little bit of a middle finger, in my opinion.
But in a statement, a spokesperson for the union representing film crews in the UK criticizes Tom's rant, saying, quote, "After a very difficult year for freelancers working in the industry, the last thing crews deserve is a multi-millionaire Hollywood star screaming abuse and threatening their jobs."
This is one of the reasons I liked this clip, is because of the statement put out by the union. And it really, I think, does put things into perspective a little bit. Does anyone think Tom Cruise cares more about the jobs of the people on the set than the people who actually rely on their jobs on set in order to pay their mortgages and feed their family? That's what I mean by like the God complex. Like, these people don't need Tom Cruise screaming at them, acting like he's saving them from themselves. Also, you've got this movie, I'm sure, cost hundreds of millions of dollars. So Tom Cruise needs to be the one running around and screaming at people to enforce guidelines. This goes to what George Clooney said, more of like, I don't necessarily fault what was done, I fault how it was done. They could easily pay for 30 people, 30 low paid people to stand around every place on set and enforce guidelines. They don't need Tom Cruise running around screaming at them, going on a rant. And that was actually the end of that Entertainment Tonight clip. I gotta tell you, it's a little funny to me how as Tom is screaming, he's muffled. All I can think of is Bane in the Batman. And he's like, "You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it." So, like I said, the reaction to this was mixed in the media, the mainstream media. It was mixed on social media. I think this whole thing hits a little differently to former Scientologists who understand that this way of behaving is extremely common. This is day-to-day life in Scientology's Sea organization. What Tom is doing to these crew members on this set, that's an ordinary after breakfast meeting in the Sea organization. Not unusual at all. And I'm talking about even at lower level Scientology Sea organizations. It's much worse at international management. It's much worse with David Miscavige. To know that Tom and David are best friends, to know that Tom has become more and more like David over the years, and to see Tom just completely lose it on his crew like this. Again, I just think it hits former Scientologists differently. So I want to get your reaction. What are your thoughts on this? Do you see this as Tom being unhinged, or do you see this as, when the weight of Hollywood is on your shoulders, losing your temper over something that could possibly shut down production makes perfect sense? Or are you somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm publishing this video early today because there's a few videos that I want to get done, and this is the first one. So that's all I've got on this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.